Project Workbench. One thing I think that's very interesting that you and I seem to have in common is this, like, we're obviously very driven to pursue our passions, things that are of interest to us. But it sounds like that is secondary, or that is bonus material in addition to the actual career we have, where we're earning money. I assume you have some sort of job where you earn money, and then based on that, you go and pursue your passion. My fear is that many people want to do the passion thing without having the job thing to fall back on. And I guess I'm curious about, well, you're obviously doing it one way. Do you think you're doing it the right way? Might not your time be better spent focusing purely on your passions, even if it meant at the cost of creature comforts like a car, housing, food, whatever? Or are you doing it right?
I think the answer to your question changes depending on how old you are. So I came out here in my early 20s, and at that point, I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot to lose. You can do things like that if for no other reason than you need to fill time with something. And I think a lot of people, and plus you have that, you're not beaten down by the realities of the world, which can be very harsh. I mean, look, we live in America. We've got things better than other places in the world, but things can still be difficult. Things are not easy for most people, and I think people can get kind of beaten down by constant rejection.
Sure, like sometimes my Wi-Fi goes down.
Right.
It makes me crazy.
Yes. Oh man. But like, there are things that are difficult. Like, for example, with my podcast, there are people that there's a guy that I've just gotten back in contact with who I've been chasing to do an interview for 2 years. Now he's worth it. It's a really fun. I'm not going to tell you who it is until I get him on the show, but it means something to me, and I haven't lost the passion and the drive. If I think something's worth it, I'll still go after it. But I think some people lose that as you go on. So to answer your question, I think when you're young, you don't have anything to lose. When you get older, and I'm not old, but I'm at a point where I like making money, and you need to think about things in the future, putting money away for the future. You need to be a little bit more conservative, because at some point you're going to run out of time, and you kind of have to balance things. And so I couldn't quit my job and do this, because I know the amount of time it would take to get it to where I need it to be and where it is now. And that's a long time, longer than being able to be unemployed. So in my personal opinion, I'm doing it the right way because I haven't lost my passion to do what I want to do. A job affords me the financial freedom to be able to pursue what I want. Sometimes not the freedom of time, because the job can be demanding, and after work and weekends are when I can work on it. But I enjoy it, and I think if anyone wants to pursue a creative endeavor, that's the way to do it, so that you have money to be able to invest in equipment and all that kind of stuff, you know. But I do love your idealistic view of charge full straight ahead, and if I was 10 years younger, I'm right there with you.
No, it's funny you say that, because that is my view is actually the exact opposite. There's a great phrase people throw around. They say, "Do something you'll love, and you'll never work a day in your life." And I think that's the most misunderstood phrase in the English language, because the takeaway from people that is, if you are doing something you truly enjoy, you will never have to work a day in your life, because money will be falling from trees. I think that's the standard interpretation. Whereas I think it's, if you do the things you'll love, you'll never find work, because you're too busy. You're too busy making your goddamn foam armor.
No, that's, but I actually, obviously you're making a joke, but the interpretation I always have is, obviously it won't feel like work.
That's right. I think
that's what it's supposed to be. But I think that, I like the way I'm pursuing it. And I think if I did it, there's a smart way to do something, and then there's the not smart way to do something. And that's subjective.
It's very insightful.
But it's subjective. But I mean that, like,
I feel like we're the breakthrough episode here on the Project Workbench. We're really, the rubber has met the road at this point.
That was pretty generic. You can't be wrong. The more vague it is, you can't be wrong. I just think that there's a way to do things that's smart, and I like the way I'm doing it because it gives me a lot of advantages.
Of course, I totally agree with you.
Now, also, I happen to be very, very lucky in a lot of different ways. I work in a major entertainment company, and that gives me the connections I need to do my passion. So it's not like I work in a hole doing nothing related to my passions. It's actually tangentially related, and it feeds into it. So I'm very lucky in that way. And if anyone can hook that kind of stuff up, I highly recommend it.